Hi everyone! Welcome po sa video natin ngayon. Again, I'm Forex Coach Jonathan Lu. And ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayon ay paano gamitin yung economic calendar. No? So ano ba muna yung economic calendar niyan? Ang economic calendar, basically it's a list of events. No? Kumbaga, list ng mga economic data releases. So for example, yung mga napag-uusapan natin sa previous videos like GDP o yung ating mga interest rates, CPI, PMI, inflation, yung mga ganyang klaseng data, no, macroeconomic data, meron po yung exact time at exact date po na nire-release. So, yung economic calendar, yan po yung ating calendar of events kung kailan sila ilalabas. Tapos, kasama po doon, nandun din yung previous data, kumbaga yan yung data last time na nilalabas, nandyan din po yung kanilang forecast, no, yun yung expectation ng market, and then meron po yung actual data, no? So mamaya isa-isahin natin 'yan kung para saan 'yan. So you already have a lot of data there. And ang kagandahan po sa economic calendar is it's a customizable list, no? So pwede niyo po piliin kung ano yung mga gusto niyo makita na mga balita, no? Ano yung currency na involved doon. You can change yung time. Marami pa po, no? So mamaya iisa-isahin po natin 'yan. So, tandaan po natin na ang economic calendar, marami po tayong pwedeng sources dyan. Yung gamit natin ngayon would be yung sa XM po. No? So, dito yung sa XM website natin. Now, yung mga lumalabas na forecasts dyan, dapat pare-pareho naman yan dun sa mga ibang providers ng economic calendar. So, kumbaga, it's gonna be the same thing. No? Pero yung mga iba, meron silang sarili nilang mga forecasts. No? Meron silang sarili nilang, kumbaga, consensus versus forecast. So, depende na dun sa provider na yun. No? Pero by, kumbaga standard yan is meron ka lang actual forecast at saka yung previous data po. So, let's now take a look at yung ating nakikita na economic calendar ngayon. And kung mapapansin nyo po, it's basically a list of events, no? So kung medyo go down tayo ng konti dito, there's a lot of data there and it could be a little bit messy at the start. So medyo mahirap, no? And you can actually customize what you want to see. So for example, dito po, palitan natin, you can actually specify the exact dates that you want to see. It could be yesterday, today, tomorrow, this week, or a very specific uh, set of dates, no? And then, pwede po tayo pumunta dito sa filter so that you can select kung ano po dito yung mga gusto nyo makita. So, sabihin natin, i-clear muna natin lahat, no? And let's say that we want to focus on just a few things. For example, gusto ko po makita Australia. Gusto ko po makita ang US, no? Tapos, gusto ko din makita ang UK. I-select nyo lang sila, and then okay na yan, no? Now, take note, if you're going for the Eurozone, meron niyang sarili na Euro, no? Nakasulat dyan, ito, Eurozone. And yung mga iba, sinasama nila yung mga malalaking economies that come with it. For example, Germany, Italy, no, yan yung mga medyo malakas gumalaw for the euro as well, no, France. So pero depende na sa mga hinahanap yung data, no. For the meantime, let's stick to 3 para simple po muna. And from there, you can also select the specific categories that you want to uh, take note of, no. So kanwari, gusto ko employment, gusto ko credit, balance, central banks, bonds, inflation, etc., etc. You can specifically select the ones that you like, no? So, sabihin natin, gusto ko lahat makikita So, hayaan ko na lang siya na walang check, no? Now, from there, makikita nyo din na yung ating mga data is actually categorized into types of impact niya. Tatlo yan. Meron kang low impact, meron kang medium impact, at saka high impact. So, depende dun sa intensity nung impact na yon that could, move the market. No? Sabihin natin, yung mga high impact news, yan most likely malakas yung galaw ng market dyan. Pag kinumpare mo sila sa mga low impact news, hindi yan po masyadong pinapansin. No? So, sabihin natin, let's stick with high impact news. No? Ito yung nakasulat, parang tatlong bulls. No? Now, if you click apply, then it would normally filter out that for you already. So, kita nyo, medyo numipis po yung ating listahan, no, from there. So, nandyan na yung US, nandyan na yung Euro, nandyan na yung Pound, no. Australian dollar, wala walang significant data, so wala pong lumabas. Now, makikita nyo din po sa taas na you can change yung current time, no. So, kanwari, nandito tayo sa Pilipinas, then we choose GMT plus 8. So, hanapin nyo yung tamang time na kung nasaan kayo, saan time zone kayo. So, ayan, GMT plus 8 yung sinelect ko. And right now, you have the data doon sa tamang oras. So makikita nyo po dito, you have a couple of columns. So dito sa pinakakaliwa, makikita nyo yan yung oras, no? That is the exact time that the data will be released, no? So saktong-sakto yan, on the minute yan, no? Next po, ano yung currency na maapektuhan? So you have here, for example, the pound, the US, the euro, etc., etc. Tapos makikita nyo po yung impact. Remember, ang pinili lang natin na impact for now is yung high impact, no? So yan po yung makikita natin dyan. And then, nandito po yung mismong event, no? Ano ba yung tinitingnan nating event na yan? So for example, no, tingnan natin yung current data na lalabas, no? So kanwari, dito po nung this was just yesterday, no? March 11. Tapos makikita nyo po nandito yung mga data na lumabas doon. Kunwari itong initial jobless claims ng US, no? Makikita nyo may tatlong data na nakalista diyan. Tapos you have here your forecast at saka yung previews po. So bago pa dumating yung mismong balita na yan, nakalabas na yung forecast at saka yung previews. Yung previews, ibig sabihin yan yung last time, no? Kasi yung mga data na yan, periodic naman nilalabas yan. It could be every month, it could be every 2 weeks, every quarter. May sariling ano yan, oras talaga, no? Kung gaano siya kadalas nilalabas. And then, yan yung data last time. Tapos yung forecast, ito yung kumbaga tina-target nila, no? Ito yung expected na lalabas na data. Now, on that exact time, no, in this case, this is already 9:30 p.m., no, on our clock nung Thursday, ang lumabas po na data ay 712,000, no? So yan yung nakikita natin na data, no? So depende po sa type of data, no? Pwede yan maging kulay green, kulay red, or kulay black. Normally, kapag kulay green yan, that's good for that particular data release. So, kumbaga, mas maganda kaysa expected nila. Kapag pula yan, it's worse than what they expect. Kapag black yan, ibig sabihin, tama lang doon sa forecast nila. No? So, kumbaga, wala masyadong igagalaw. No? Ngayon, yung iba siguro maiisip, wow, edi ibig sabihin ba nun, pag may green, automatic, dapat bibili na natin yung currency na yan. Kunwari, yung US dollar, no? Bibili na ba natin kagad yan pag nag-green? Hindi ho, no? Marami pa pong mga clauses in between that, no? It's not always the case na kapag green yan, aangat, no? So, we need to, look into that a little bit more, no? So, mas kailangan natin na mas in-depth na fundamental analysis pagdating doon. But definitely, it might move the currency. So, if you want to know a little bit more about that particular news release, kanwari, ito initial jobless claims, no? Pwede nyo siya pindutin and it gives you a little bit more data on that. So, makikita nyo po dito, ayan, nandiyan yung actual forecast previews and then you also have the currency involved with there and kung saan galing yung report, no? Ito, Department of Labor. Now, makikita nyo dito, you also have a general description of it. Kunwari, initial jobless claims measure the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance, no? Etc. etc. Tapos, makikita nyo na meron siyang parang quick analysis. A higher than expected reading should be taken as negative kasi syempre, pag maraming nagpo-file ng jobless claims, ibig sabihin wala silang trabaho, no? The more people filing for that, ibig sabihin mas maraming walang trabaho. Okay? So, but a lower than expected reading would be positive for that. Now, again, depende yan sa data na tinitingnan natin. Kanwari, GDP naman yung ina-expect natin, no? For today, we're expecting GDP, no? So, at the time that I'm making this video, 45 minutes labas na yung GDP release ng UK, no? So that affects the British pound. So nandiyan yung yearly, quarterly, and monthly, no? So kanwari tingnan natin yung monthly. So the previous data is around 1.2%. Now the forecasted data is actually gonna be pretty bad. Nasa negative 4.9, ang layo, no? So kumbaga medyo napapansin na natin na medyo alanganin yung UK this week. Okay? So if you click on that, mapapansin mo, we expect a drop, no, in that GDP. And true enough, kapag bumagsak yan and it's even worse than what it was, then that could influence the pound negatively. Pwedeng bumagsak yan. Pero naman kapag sabihin natin, better than expected siya, that might be good for the British pound. Pero depende kasi kung negative pa rin yung GDP, that's still bad for your economy, no? So, again, you may need some additional in-depth discussion for fundamental analysis dyan. No? But generally, that's the idea. So, makikita nyo na ahead of time, you can actually check what can happen in the market. Kailan natin i-expect yung volatility? Ano ibig sabihin ng volatility? Volatility yung paggalaw ng malakas sa market. Kasi as traders, we actually want volatility in the market. Gusto natin gumagalaw kasi pag walang galaw, wala tayong matitrade. No? So, these news releases, no, yung mga macroeconomic data na yan, normally provide volatility. Okay? So talagang makaka-expect tayo ng galaw dyan. So, early in the week, makikita nyo na kaagad ano yung mga expected nating data na lalabas, and you can have a general bias with that. So sabihin natin, if we're looking at the British pound for the whole week, wala siya masyadong pangyayari, no, early in the week, pero pagdating ng Friday, mukhang tuloy-tuloy. Tapos mapapansin nyo, halos lahat, manufacturing production from 0.3% to negative 0.8%. Kumbaga, you don't have really good data with that. So initially, ang idea natin dito, if you're just using the economic calendar as a bias para maghanap ng mga pwede nyong i-trade na currencies, alanganin yung pound ngayon. So you might actually try to look for opportunities to sell the pound this week, no? And with that, we try to pair that up with something stronger. So sabihin natin, sige, tignan nga natin si euro, no? So right now, euro is pretty neutral, no? Doon sa mga nilabas niyang data recently, no, puro neutral. So kumbaga, we expect not much movement for the euro. So siguro pwede mo siya i-pair euro against the pound. If you can find a currency that has relatively stronger data, then mas maganda, no? Yun yung pwede mong i-trade na pair. Okay? So, yun po yung ating economic calendar. And again, you can use the economic calendar to find, no, specific time na, kumbaga, specific dates or oras, no, na pwede talaga magkaroon ng volatility yung market. And if your fundamental analysis and technical analysis are in the right place as well, you can take the trade. Okay? So, take note, no, na marami pong times na baliktad yung galaw ng market. Bakit ganon? No? Well, there's a couple of reasons behind that. Number one, pwede po na maaga pa lang nakikita na natin na bearish yung British pound. So, there might be a lot of traders and institutions that already trade that way kasi na-expect na nila na babagsak eh. So, maaga pa lang nagbebenta na sila at pwedeng bumabagsak na yung market from there. Okay? Tapos pagdating ng data release, nagte-take profit na sila, bumabaliktad, no? So that's the old saying na buy the rumor, sell the fact, no? So that happens a lot in the market. So kumbaga, dito po papasok yung technical analysis natin. Kailangan, it also has to be in line with your technical analysis. Now, another possibility na pwedeng bumaliktad yung data release is something called yung mga parang adjustments, no? Ibig sabihin, yung unang labas ng data hindi masyadong tama, so inadjust nung provider yung kanilang data. Kumbaga mali daw yung una nilang release, binabago nila, no? Ina-adjust nila yung data. And to be honest, you can actually adjust data a day after, 2 days after, no, a week after. So kumbaga, tignan nyo din, baka mamaya nagbabago yung data na nare-release nila. This happens a lot for non-farm payrolls, no, yung NFP, kasi yan yung isa sa mga pinakamalaking market movers eh. So minsan na-adjust talaga yan. Alright? So, anyway, watch out for those things, but hopefully, you now understand better kung paano gumawa ng paano basahin yung ating economic calendar and kailan natin may expect yung volatility doon sa market. Anyway, thank you everyone, and I'll see you guys on our next video. Bye-bye, and happy pipping. If you like this video, make sure that you subscribe, like, and follow for more updates. See you guys, and happy pipping!